is NBA action. Yeah, the 1998 NBA Finals are here, and we've got all the highlights as the Utah Jazz try to win their first title, while the Chicago Bulls look to repeat as champions. Plus, John Stockton and Karl Malone are holding court, and we'll bring you the top 10 rookie plays of the year.
Thomas finds his way to the goal and slams for two.
We tip off our show by taking you into the action with a look at Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Bulls and the Jazz.
5 titles in 7 years. Chicago will win the NBA championship.
To have an opportunity to try to correct something that you didn't finish last time, I'm glad to have an opportunity to play them again.
Get your programs for the revenge match of the year. Game programs.
If you want to win it, you might as well win it beating the best. And we do consider them the best, and we do consider them the team to beat.
Coming off the Game 7 victory against the Pacers, the defending champion Chicago Bulls look to pounce on the Jazz early.
Picked off by Scottie Pippen.
Comes down the baseline on, slams it over the head of Hornacek.
After a sluggish start, Jerry Sloan looked to his bench in the second quarter.
Pippen in the lane for Simpkins, knocked away and stolen. It's a 4-on-1 break. Isley to Anderson.
And just what we expected to see, this bench of Utah's is standing up.
But Michael Jordan also rose to the occasion, scoring 15 of the Bulls' 23 points in the period.
Jordan, the defender, puts a great move on Anderson, flashes for the layup. Beautiful.
They go to the man with the hot hand. Again, single coverage by Anderson. Hornacek comes over. Michael with the up and under.
Fouled. Michael Jordan scoring again.
But while Jordan was unstoppable early, John Stockton made things okay for Utah.
He kind of took over offensively, especially in the first half, and then that's just the type of player he is.
So they'll hold it for the last one. Stockton fires.
John Stockton, 13 points, 9 of the quarter.
They conclude the half up by 5.
And the Utah Jazz would maintain their lead late in the fourth quarter.
Morris picked up the right leap and lane back and scored. Chris Morris, 75-68 Jazz, 4 minutes left in the game.
With the Bulls down by 7, Pippen and Jordan would lead Chicago's comeback.
Jordan all alone, look out. Dead center on a jumper.
Jordan from 20. Good again.
Here's Kerr. Sends it back. Pippen's going to fire the three. Yes! We're tied.
As Game 1 went down the stretch, the Bulls turned their attention to defending Karl Malone.
Watch Malone coming at your foul.
Malone had been down all night, shooting just 9 of 25 from the floor. But that didn't stop him from taking some clutch shots in the closing minutes.
Karl Malone finally hits the jump shot.
Shot clock winding down. Malone has to. 2 in a row.
With the Jazz up by 2, the Bulls would turn to their big man.
Around a Longley screen. Michael dishes to Longley. Up with the shot to tie the game.
With overtime looming, Utah's John Stockton would have one last chance to win it in regulation.
Now it's Stockton out of the corner for the win.
No, not this time. Rebound Pippen, and that's it. Regulation, we go to overtime.
But overtime was full of missed chances for Chicago.
Utah's lead is down to 2.
Longley, right to left move. Oh, he lost it. It's loose. It's free.
Timeout, Utah. They've got the basketball.
And now, John Stockton was focused on sealing the victory for Utah.
14 seconds. 8 on the shot. Sock left to right. Drive the alley. Push it up. Score! John Stockton! What a shot! John Stockton gives Utah a 4-point lead.
But after cutting Utah's lead to 3, Jordan and the Bulls had the final shot.
Who goes long pass? Jordan in the air. Taps the ball. Longley hit it. Back to Pippen. The fire, the 3. No, it's over. Utah survives.
With Utah up 1-0, we now go back into the action for the exciting second game of the NBA Finals. The Utah Jazz look to go 2 games up and maintain their home court advantage in front of a wild Delta Center crowd. Still, the veteran Chicago Bulls seemed up for the challenge of evening the series at a game apiece.
One game at a time.
That's all it can be in this series, is just take one game at a time and hope that you can get a win and build on that.
But to capture game 2, Chicago had to shut down Malone and Stockton, who got the Jazz off to a quick start.
Far left, Stockton's going to crash the lane. Go for the layup. Yes! Underhand scoop shot. And here comes Stockton. They drop it into the low block right. The mailman comes on Longley, gives it up. Stockton open three. Got it.
But the Bulls responded to Utah's early first quarter run.
Penetrates, crashes the lane for the layup, missed it. Knocked back by Kukoc, save. Jordan's got it. Jordan drives the lane. Jordan scoop shot underhand.
Chicago benefited from 18 offensive rebounds.
Knocked back to Pippen, open three, passes up, drives the lane, comes inside, foul it and score it. Down into Michael, Hornacek the defender. Two-hand open man's Pippen. Left side drives the lane, comes to the glass of the slam. And Scottie Pippen on fire, goes to the rack again.
And Tony Kukoc contributed 13 first-half points.
Kukoc swings inside, underhand, good on a great move by Kukoc.
In the second half, the game was up for grabs, as neither team was able to pull away.
Stockton keeps the dribble, wants Malone with Longley, up over the top of Longley, short on the shot, but offensive rebound. The mailman's going to lay this one in. Kerr with Isley defending the entry pass to Luke Longley, who checked it. Great pass to Pippen, who jams it back down.
Stockton snap pass to Isley, gives it up to Ostertag.
Jordan left baseline, back to an open Luke Longley, who slams it down.
Control of the series was clearly on the line. And while it was obvious who Chicago would turn to in crunch time, Utah's go-to guy was struggling for a second game in a row.
Malone misses the layup from the left-hand side. It was wide open.
With Utah desperate in the clutch, Jeff Hornacek rose to the occasion.
No, he missed the layup, but Malone gets the rebound back outside to Hornacek, fires a three. Yeah!
Hornacek's long-range attack keyed a 12-4 Utah run in the fourth quarter.
Back outside, Hornacek's three, yes! Oh, yes! Jeff Hornacek puts Utah ahead, 86-85, 1:46 to go.
But with Utah leading by 1 point, Kukoc would come up big for the Bulls once again.
Right side, bad pass, Kukoc, he turns it over, Stockton does. Off now to Kerr, bodies flying. Kerr back, transition three, no. Back to Kerr, long rebound, drives, there's Michael. Chicago leads and foul.
Trailing by 4, the Jazz still had a chance. But Chicago's defense came through in the closing seconds.
Harper steals it. Harper over Stockton, stole it. Chicago wins it, 93-88. And the Utah Jazz have lost the home court advantage that they played for all season long.
Pressure may shift to us because we're going back home and we have to defend our home court, and you know we got to go back and play well.
They're still the champs, and again, until somebody beats them, they're at the top. And we knew they'd come out tonight not wanting to be down 2-0, and I guess we didn't meet the challenge.
We felt very good about our chances coming to the game tonight. Everybody was upbeat in the locker room, and we just went out and did what we had to do.
Seal it up, and let's go to Chicago even at a game apiece.
Now, we take a look at the international coverage of the NBA Finals in the global game. It seems everyone in Utah is excited to watch the Jazz compete in the NBA Finals.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ladonna Center for the NBA Finals.
The Finals excitement is being felt not just in the United States, but all over the globe. This year's games are being broadcast on 139 international television networks. And this intense coverage has allowed fans throughout the world to share in the thrills of the NBA Finals.
Bonne nuit à tous et bienvenue au Delta Center de Salt Lake City pour ces finals 1998 na presa amerikana. Znate verovatno da je ovo po svemu sudeći poslednja finalna serija, poslednja serija uopšte ove generacije Chicago Bulls.
Πληρώθηκε με δύο ομάδες να ξεχωρίζουν από την Ανατολή και τη Δύση. ביחד איתי נמצא עכשיו שחקן העבר, את יובנדווי, שבא היום לראות את השחקנים את המשחק הרבה חברים שלו.
Sí, Álvaro, pero se enfrenta a los Chicago Bulls y Michael Jordan, que no se dará por vencido tan fácilmente.
Just prior to Game 1, the announcers seemed very loose. But as tip-off neared in the Delta Center, all of the 93 international broadcasters had put on their game faces. And when the series shifted to Chicago's United Center for Game 3, the Nets' Jason Williams got a taste of the international flavor.
Well, you know, the NBA is the #1 sport in all the world. We're seen in over 175 countries. And I'm about to go do some interviews with some NBA broadcasters from all around the world. Can you say, Palazoo, Luke Zaze?
Evo nas sada na parketu United Centra. Sa mnom je Jason Williams iz New Jersey Netsa. Jason, welcome. Thank you for making time for us.
No problem, lad.
¿Qué tal, amigos de Televisión Azteca? Bienvenidos a Chicago para el tercer juego de la serie.
Still, it doesn't matter what language fans are listening to. Everyone admires the brilliance of Michael Jordan.
Jordan hat Mühe, den Ball unter Kontrolle zu halten und schafft doch noch.
Now we get you back into the action as the NBA Finals shift to Chicago for Game 3 between the Bulls and the Jazz.
We will not win this series if I don't play better. I mean, that's just facts. That's just the way it is.
You know, we're still going to try to get the ball to Carl. We think that he can go 0 for 20 and then he'll make the next 3 baskets down the stretch. So we don't give up on him.
But the Bulls were focused on stopping Malone and taking the next step toward another championship.
Gentlemen, Game 3, veterans like yourselves, have a great game.
Right from the start, the mailman broke out of his shooting slump, and he'd give the Jazz an early lead.
Malone's jump shot is there. How huge is that as Malone puts the first one down. Back to Malone, drives the lane, comes for the layup, good. Karl Malone with all 6 of the Utah points.
Malone, this time he drives. Same result, though, whether it's to the hoop or from the perimeter, he's 5 of 5. Malone, fade away on Rodman, 6 for 6.
Phil Jackson was concerned as the Bulls were down by 5 and in need of a spark. And they would look no further than to his airness, Michael Jordan, who triggered a Chicago onslaught.
Michael with Longley trying to screen for him. Spins around Hornacek and hits off the glass.
It's a cutting tip on the left side, puts it on the floor, runs the lane, the runner foul, scoring for Scottie Pippen. Kukoc, drop it in Longley, gives it back door, here's Jordan on a slam. Chicago back, it's Kukoc running the floor. Picks up the dribble at the free throw line and hits it into Harper, left side layup, good! It's a rout in the first half.
We've had a history of bad starts in this playoff run, and we got another one tonight. But after that, we put the pedal to the metal, and I haven't seen us play like that all year.
Leading by 18 at halftime, the Bulls continued to dominate in the second half.
Jordan left-hand dribble drive inside, Oster tag, put it down and foul.
Yeah, Michael was doing it all as the Bulls simply overwhelmed the Jazz.
Michael the assist, Harper the slam. Russell blocked by Burrell, into the arms of Harper. No more, flip back to Scott. Point, Chicago advantage as they run a clinic on the Utah Jazz.
Utah lost by 42 points, the biggest margin in finals history. And they scored just 54 points, the lowest total since the inception of the shot clock. But the Bulls know this series is far from over.
We're very happy. I mean, but we don't feel by any means that we're in control of this series. So we are up 2-1, but still we have to come out and do this again on Wednesday.
We really are starting to look good. You know, I like that. And, it's a crucial time to start looking good.
Now it's time to log on to NBA.com for news about the latest postseason awards. Spurs point guard Avery Johnson won this year's NBA Sportsmanship Award, which is given to the player who best represents the ideals of sportsmanship on the court.
Winning the Sportsmanship Award and being a good sport, you have a good attitude.
We want a good performance tonight. That's right. Keep that in mind. We want a good performance.
You really are an example to the millions of people that are watching you.
What's up, people? All right. Hey, what's up, Pat? You doing all right up here?
Doing great.
Good, man. Happy for you.
While Avery Johnson's a fierce competitor, he also knows the importance of treating his opponents with respect.
Never try to show the other team up. Just be humble, walk off the court, whether you win or lose, and come back the next time and try to be even better. That says it all right there.
Next, an update on the Women's World Championship of Basketball. Berlin, Germany hosted the championship game as Lisa Leslie and the United States faced a tough challenge from upset-minded Russia. The U.S. trailed by 12 points late in the first half.
I don't see that spotter in your arm right now. You gotta go get this thing. They're not gonna hand it to you.
But the U.S. would rally in the second half with a furious comeback.
And the United States with their first lead of the game.
Then Ruthie Bolton Holyfield took over.
Bolton Holyfield. It's good. A three-pointer. And the United States up by 2. So Skowski trying to deny. Another three. It's good again. Ruthie Bolton Holyfield.
And Lisa Leslie scored 20 points as the U.S. won the gold medal.
The United States once again can claim they're number 1 in the world in women's basketball. An emotional victory for the United States.
I knew I had to put this team on my back. I had to get inside and do what I'm best at. We wanted to live with that shot with me inside, with Ruthie knocking down the three-point shot. Just knew we were going to win.
Time for our viewer email. Carlos Rodriguez Sabata from Merida, Mexico asks, which active NBA head coach has been with his team the longest? In his 10th season as Utah's head coach, Jerry Sloan ranks first in tenure among NBA coaches. Sloan is also the winningest coach in Jazz franchise history. He's guided them to 50 or more wins in 9 of his 10 seasons at the helm. And he's led the Jazz to 10 straight playoff appearances. For the Spalding ball handling performance of the week. Check out this move by Chicago's Scottie Pippen in Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Pippen shaking and baking. Fake left, go right. Go to the hoop. Underhand scoop. Good. Nice play.
What a great change of direction dribble by Scottie Pippen all the way to the rim for a right-hand floater.
Now, Utah's legendary duo that's powered the Jazz for 13 seasons is holding court.
When you talk about the Utah Jazz, it starts and it ends with John Stockton and Karl Malone. Thank you, Utah Jazz, for the co-MVPs of this year's All-Star Game, Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Stockton with the ball front court left. He looks to Karl Malone. He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up. It's it. He did it. He did it. John Stockton. A new NBA assist king. Punch inside low left. Derrick Williams. Stockton steals. There it is. Stockton stole the ball. Stockton stole the ball. He's the all-time leader in the history of the game.
Congratulations, Karl Malone, 1996-97 NBA Most Valuable Player.
Stockton, open three. Good! John Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
After their disappointing loss to the Bulls in last year's finals, Karl Malone and John Stockton vowed to get back atop the Western Conference and return to the NBA Finals.
I don't think anybody that considers them a competitor would be satisfied with having lost it. Once you get there, that part of it's over, and really the only thing you're looking for at that point is to win it.
But John Stockton missed the season's first 18 games, leaving the mailman to carry the load.
I have to raise my game a little more, and other guys have to raise theirs a little more to compensate for me. So you just got to deal with it.
And the Jazz did just that.
On to Malone.
Playing without Stockton, the Jazz got off to a slow start, but they improved to 11-7 as they began to find their rhythm.
And Malone is doing it all. He's a one-man wrecking crew right now.
And when John Stockton returned from his knee injury, the Utah Jazz didn't skip a beat.
Stockton front court. Stockton up top to the mailman. Karl Malone, 20-footer good. Stockton to Malone.
Oh, great pass. And Stockton with a finish from Karl Malone.
They have a desire that's hard to even talk about because the guys, they give their all every time they're on the floor.
I look at us every night as warriors, so to speak. There's no doubt in my mind what he's thinking.
And I don't think it's any doubt in his mind what I'm thinking we'll get on that court, and that's to win.
That desire led the Jazz to 62 wins and the best record in the NBA.
Look at this pass.
Utah would keep things rolling in the playoffs. And after a sweep over the Lakers, Stockton and Malone fulfilled their dream of returning to the NBA Finals.
The Western King still reigns. The Utah Jazz are returning to the NBA Finals.
They're two of the best players ever. And John and Carl, if anybody deserves a world championship, it's those two.
But even if they don't win that elusive championship this year, Karl Malone and John Stockton will go down in NBA history as one of the best duos of all time.
I always picture this right here. If we happen to go to the Hall of Fame one day, they'd probably try to get us both there together.
What would happen if we were separate, I don't know. I really don't want to know. I like things the way they are.
When we're gone from this game of basketball, I think when you mention one, you're going to mention the other one. And I think it's great.
All right, now it's time for the top 10 rookie plays of the year in our courtside countdown. Starting things off at number 10, it's Chauncey Billups.
Billups, Antoine. That was a finish. Chauncey with a little behind the back dribble.
Coming in at number 9, it's the Kings' Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson with a great crossover move. Oh, my! He ripped it hard right hand. Woo-wee. I mean, that was a big shot. Tim Hardaway would have loved that crossover.
At number 8, it's Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs.
Look at Duncan! Oh, what a play by Duncan!
That is a great basketball play.
What a play by Duncan! Dunking in his own miss!
Oh, boy.
7, it's the Sixers' Tim Thomas.
Thomas strong. Lands for 2.
Holy cow. Take a look at Tim taking it to the hoop there and throwing one down big time.
Checking in at number 6, it's Keith Van Horn of the New Jersey Nets.
Following his own shot. Oh, toot your own horn. Wow. Oh, that's the aggression you love to see in the rookie.
At 5, it's the Celtics' Ron Mercer.
Mercer! Oh! Ron Mercer!
That was a huge hop and leap by Mercer.
Coming in at number 4, here's Schick Rookie of the Year, Tim Duncan.
Oh, it almost looked like he passed it to himself.
He did.
That was amazing. Not that he did it, but that he thought about it before he did it.
At number 3, here once again, Tim Thomas.
Oh, what a shot by Tim Thomas.
Oh, I can see him winding up for that one.
My goodness.
At number 2, here's Tim Duncan one more time.
Oh, man, what a finish by Tim Duncan. A fabulous alley-oop. He went up and ripped it.
And the number 1 rookie play of the year comes from Alvin Williams.
Williams falling down.
Oh, yes. What a shot.
I'm Jim Fagan for NBA Action. See you next week.
Just as important. Practice.
Reach of the hoop, scoops it in. Down the way, put it up, make good.
We on one now, crossover, Stinson reverse, good.
Dennis going back.